Before the RMS Titanic ever began its famous voyage across the Atlantic Ocean, there was a series of events and preparations that are often forgotten. In the shadow of its tragic end, please subscribe. These early moments, filled with activity, anticipation, and important decisions, played a crucial role in shaping the journey that would later become one of the most well-known stories in history. In the days leading up to its departure, the Titanic was docked at Southampton, where it became the center of attention. The port was filled with workers, crew members, and passengers, all contributing to the final preparations. The massive ship stood as a symbol of modern engineering and luxury, attracting crowds who came to see it before it set sail. One of the most important aspects of this period was the loading of supplies. The Titanic needed to be fully equipped for its journey, carrying everything from food and water to fuel and equipment. Workers carefully transported these items onto the ship, ensuring that it would be ready for the long trip across the ocean. At the same time, the crew was being organized and assigned their roles. Each member had specific responsibilities, from operating the engines to assisting passengers. The coordination of the crew was essential to the smooth operation of the ship, and these final preparations were critical in ensuring that everything was in place. Passengers also began arriving at the port, bringing with them luggage, expectations, and excitement. For many, this journey represented a significant moment in their lives. Some were traveling for business or leisure, while others were seeking new opportunities in a different country. The atmosphere was filled with anticipation as people prepared to board the ship. Another often overlooked detail is the series of last-minute decisions that were made before the Titanic set sail. These decisions included adjustments to passenger lists, changes in crew assignments, and final checks of the ship's systems. While these actions were part of normal preparation, they also played a role in shaping the journey that followed. The port itself was a scene of constant activity. Workers moved quickly to complete their tasks, while passengers and visitors observed the ship. The combination of movement, sound, and energy created a unique environment that reflected the importance of the moment. As the time for departure approached, the Titanic underwent final inspections to ensure that everything was functioning properly. Engineers checked the engines, crew members reviewed safety procedures, and officials confirmed that the ship was ready to leave. These steps were essential in preparing the vessel for its journey. The departure of the Titanic was a significant event that drew attention from both the public and the media. People gathered to watch as the ship prepared to leave the port, eager to witness the beginning of its maiden voyage. The sight of the massive ship moving away from the dock was both impressive and symbolic. Despite the excitement, there were also challenges during this period. Managing such a large number of passengers and crew required careful organization. Ensuring that everyone was on board and that all preparations were complete was a complex task that required coordination and attention to detail. The forgotten story before the Titanic set sail is a reminder that every major event is preceded by a series of smaller moments. These moments, while often overlooked, are essential in understanding the full picture. They provide context and insight into how events unfold. Looking back, the days before the Titanic's departure can be seen as a time of preparation and anticipation. The ship was ready, the crew was prepared, and the passengers were eager to begin their journey. Everything seemed to be in place for what was expected to be a successful voyage. However, these early moments also highlight the complexity of such a large undertaking. The Titanic was not just a ship, it was a system that required coordination between many different elements. From the loading of supplies to the assignment of crew roles, every detail mattered. More than a century later, the story of the Titanic continues to capture the imagination of people around the world. While the focus is often on the events of the voyage itself, the period before the ship set sail is equally important. It provides a deeper understanding of how the journey began and what led up to it. In the end, the forgotten story before the Titanic set sail is a story of preparation, effort, and anticipation. It shows how a combination of actions and decisions can set the stage for events that will later become part of history. As we remember the Titanic, it is important to consider not only its journey and its tragic end, but also the moments that came before. These moments remind us that history is made up of many parts, each contributing to the overall story. The Titanic's departure marked the beginning of a journey that would change the world forever. Yet, the story of what happened before that moment remains an important part of its history, offering valuable insights into the events that shaped one of the most famous voyages of all time.